Hello, adventurers! Requisition the Rye Rear Guard. It's time for Roll for Sandwich, the series where I let fate decide my lunch. Let's go! Today we're going to be using these tiny metal dice that come in this dragon pocket watch type case that were sent to me by a viewer. Thanks! Let's get things started with our roll for bread. 4. White bread. I know it's been a bit since we've toasted our bread, but there's something just so nostalgic about soft, white bread. I might regret this, but I'm going to leave it untoasted. Next up, let's roll for Maine. 7. Turkey. I've got some thinly sliced honey turkey breasts today. Turkey breast on white bread is about as generic and simple of an American sandwich as you can get. Let's see what the dice do, starting with that canvas. Let's roll for our cheese. 3. Smoky Hot Colby Jack. This Smoky Hot Colby Jack incorporates jalapeno, habanero, and chipotle peppers. Fun fact, chipotle peppers are not a distinct species of pepper. They are in fact ripe red jalapenos that have been smoke dried. That's why chipotle stuff always tastes smoky. Let's roll up some roughage. 3 green onion and 8 mild peppers. Alright, I've snipped off a couple of green onions from my perpetual green onion plant growing in my kitchen, and we're going to cut them in some larger pieces to hopefully avoid them rolling off the sandwich too much. Mild banana pepper rings are one of my favorite additions to a sandwich. They have the perfect amount of acid without adding too much spice, and usually in their pickled state retain a little bit of crunch. They're prime sandwich roughage as long as you avoid the stem pieces. Let's get wild with the Wild Magic Roll. 5. Apricot paste. This spread made from dried apricot is frequently used in Middle Eastern cooking. It's often sold in sheets like this, which have the texture of thick fruit leather. Apricot paste is used for all sorts of things, from pastry filling to meat glazes to a traditional Ramadan drink known as Khamr Adin. Pretty sure nobody just adds it straight to a sandwich as a sheet like this, but that's what we rolled. So it's going to go on our sandwich, and I'm sure it's going to be a great textural experience. And last but not least, it's the D20 sauce roll. Here we go. 5. Coffee. Well, I know some of you have been waiting a while for this roll. Yes, coffee just means coffee. And it figures the day that I leave my bread untoasted, I get an extremely liquidy sauce. Though I'm sure it would have soaked through the bread whether it was toasted or not. Let's go ahead and get our sandwich closed up here. Get our toothpicks in to hold it together. And let's get it cut in half. Oh boy. Full disclosure, this was probably the hardest sandwich I've had to cut through so far, and it got stuck to my knife, but eventually we got there. And let's take a look at that cross-section. That's a sandwich. Definitely an interesting sandwich, not the most appealing looking. Let's see how it tastes. You know what? The coffee actually goes really well with the smoked chipotle peppers. Texturally though, this one with the soggy bread and the just a bit too hard to bite through apricot paste is not really recommended. The apricot paste has a nice flavor, brings some sweetness without being overwhelming, but in this form it's just kind of sticky and hard to bite through. Perhaps it would have been better heated up. Still, like I said before, I'm very intrigued by the combination of coffee and chipotle. That's one of the fun things about this show, is that even the failed sandwiches sometimes give us inspiration for the future. For this one as it stands though, I'm at about a 5.7, and I'm going to call it the Brew and Chew. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you again next time on Roll for Sandwich.